The audience just about as loud as you would expect. Still filing in are the people here arriving just a little bit late on this Tuesday evening.
Now, one of the big stories for this series, we touched upon it just before getting into the map, was the lack of Doomfist. Lunatic-Hai struggling against one fat Doomfist. RunAway not needing the Doomfist to demolish Meta Athena, just playing the standard dive they played throughout the end of Season 2, throughout the beginning of Season 3, and it was just the Haksal Genji, but that's not what we're seeing here to start things off this time. All right, here we go. It's going to be Who Are You versus Haksal. Doomfist versus Doomfist. The first time they are starting this hero in Apex Season 4.
Yeah, going to be exactly mirrored matchups here on either side. Janu coming through on that Winston bumper over onto the Diva. As Cox will be over onto that Zenyatta. So we'll see them go ahead and start poking in here. Stitch just firing away, trying to build up for that pulse bomb as swiftly as he can. Janu does go low. Kite back. Forward coming in from Miro, receives a punch. We'll have to go ahead and go back as Haksal goes in, gets a massive amount of damage down with a seismic slam, and Miro will be the first one to fall. Toby swiftly going down thereafter with Who Are You and the rest of the team following. Suma popped out of the mech, might as well be a team wipe. Taejun's going to be the only one able to make his way out of there safely, and that's going to be the first cap going over to RunAway.
Very well played. They got the better exchange with the Doomfist there. Haksal doing enough damage, Stitch getting the first pick. And that is going to be a great start for them. They already have a sound barrier, Transcendence shortly to be available. And I mean, it's really just too early to say exactly who's the better Doomfist player, but Stitch is looking for a back pick here onto Taejun.
And a really nice grab there, really nice angle, but Who Are You? Oh, just smacks him down. Taking him out, but Jaehong falls, and the uppercut coming through gets one of the enemy Doomfist. Now that's going to be a sound barrier invested by Lunatic-Hai as they try to go ahead and take this fight, but already losing out on two members, including that Zenyatta, who had the Transcendence ready to chain together. Means that the fight is basically over, so it's just going to be cleanup time here for the members of RunAway. And Lunatic-Hai are yet again going to have to regroup, but losing out on that Lucio ultimate is going to be so crucial.
I mean, they traded those, but they have the defender's advantage. RunAway does. Janu playing the Winston for the first time. That's the most impressive part of RunAway's roster right now. Of these 12 players in the booth, he's the only one who's really doing a massive flex. Cox has played so much Zenyatta. Bumper, a staple Diva player. So this is not that much of a swap here for RunAway.
Toby's picked off yet again off screen. Haksal coming up with the kill. Having an absolute field day with his Doomfist jumping forward. Looking for Taejun, can't quite finish him off. But does have him contained, just keeping him away from the fight for the most part, while Haksal desperately tries to stay alive here at the moment. Punches in, goes a little bit deep, gets that uppercut down on the Miro, and yet again, it's the members of Lunatic-Hai running for the hills, going back towards their spawn. They just cannot push forward. It's 80% going upward, Wolf.
And they don't really have much of an ult advantage here. They're going to have to use ultimates to get this flip. Zumba's holding on to the self-destruct. Clearly, they're taking a pause here, looking for the best terms of initiation to come in. Taejun looking for the back pick. That's not going to be it, though. He's shut down immediately. Time is ticking down, 4% left. They're going to have to perhaps use the self-destruct to get in here.
We'll go ahead and tag in for that overtime. Who Are You? Meteor Strike dropping in, looking for a target, but just does not have it. Gets the punch in, however, in onto Runner, taking him out, and follows up with the kill in onto Cox. And finally, Lunatic-Hai have found the fight, and it was RunAway that invested the ultimates. They still walk away a little bit here. Lunatic-Hai, they have to use their own, but they still get the flip at the crucial time.
They got the flip at the crucial time. Everything was required really on both sides. Support ultimate lead for Lunatic-Hai. Critically, they used the Meteor Strike and the self-destruct together. That caused so much disarray there after Lucio especially was picked early on in the fight. So Runner is still ticking up towards that sound barrier. Everything else was used, but Lunatic-Hai has a long time to burn through here, whereas RunAway could just look for the big 6 ultimate push to secure this point. So still massive advantage RunAway.
Jaehong gonna have to be Johnny on the spot when it comes down to this Transcendence. Actually already pops this one out, will help keep Miro topped up as Haksal was focusing him down. Sound barrier coming through now from the side of RunAway. As they look for the fight, they want to retake this, they want to get the flip and just go ahead and finish off the game. Meteor Strike up into the air, looking for a target, will be dropping down straight into the bubble, but not gonna be getting much damage. There is Haksal, and he has to go ahead and exit as he nearly falls. Who Are You trying to get the chase in? This finds the wall instead of the Diva, but they all pile off the map instead. Lunatic-Hai will maintain this hold.
Haksal just tried to use that to save himself and was looking for the best target possible. Miro avoided getting hit there, had his Primal Rage available. Taejun also was in a risky position but blinked away, so he basically didn't really have much to work with there. 65% now ticked up here. Don't know if Haksal will get another Meteor Strike in this game. Farming that in this position is very difficult. And it's going to be really almost dead even ultimates right now. This next fight should determine the point. Here comes the self-destruct burst to start it. No kills.
Coming down. Oh, not going to find the stick there in onto Zumba. There's been a crucial pop out there for the side of Stitch. Has to use the recall to get himself topped up. As they still look to get in onto the point, but Hoxall goes down. They finally find one there onto Who Are You. They need so much more than that to get this flip because it's already 90% here for the side of Lunatic-Hai, now looking for their own overtime. Transcendence used from both of these Zenyatas, just fighting over the point. The flip might finally be coming through to the side of RunAway, but losing out onto Cox is not doing them any favors. Hoxall is able to get rid of Zumba, but still, the flip not there. The stick comes through, takes him out. Runner getting taken out by the rocket punch of Who Are You, and Lunatic-Hai might actually have just done it. They clean up RunAway. They're desperately trying to get back with Cox swapping over to the Soldier, but it will not happen, and that is going to be Shrine going over to Lunatic-Hai.
Taejun saved the day with that pulse bomb. Without that pulse bomb, Hoxall could buy so much more time, possibly get another pick there to allow the flip for RunAway. With that pulse bomb, they secure it. He gets the kill. There's no one to get on the point. They sweep through. I feel like the big tells here were definitely that Hoxall looks a lot more practiced on the Doomfist. He looked to be the better one versus Who Are You. Got the better exchanges. We were watching his first-person view most of the time because he was able to accomplish so much more with the exception of that failed Meteor Strike. But I think the synergy and the teamwork for Lunatic-Hai is better. Winston on the side of Miro has been much more successful at using Primal Rages correctly to get maximum value or maximum congestion. Whereas obviously remember, Jono, he's not a Winston main, it's not his main hero here, so obviously he will struggle in the comparison. Even with a great start there, at the end of the day, I think Lunatic-Hai showed the better coordination.
It's going to be a very nice start for them here as they go ahead and take that first round. Want to close out Nepal with a 2-0 if possible, but already we've seen that RunAway does not want to go down without a fight. Things were looking so very good for them at the start, but still not able to come away with the win. But yet again, RunAway are going to be the ones finding these opening kills. Stitch coming up with the second one, getting rid of Jaehong as Hoxall gets a nice uppercut in onto Toby and takes him out with a hand cannon. That's just going to be the full team wipe coming through the first cap. Yet again, over to RunAway, but can they maintain the hold?
Bumper used basically his entire health pool plus his defense matrix to burn through the damage that was coming out. Hoxall, if you look at his health bar there, was never touched. He had so many shields. They're still actually ticking down right now from all the damage he was able to do. They do get a nice ult lead with this, especially Hoxall building towards that first Meteor Strike. Stitch is going to look for a flank here. Lunatic-Hai does not want to screw up this next push. They're going to find themselves way behind in ult economy, and with a bad deficit in control meter.
Especially Taejun, you take a look at him. He's at 42% as far as that pulse bomb is concerned, whereas Stitch is about to have his ready to go.
Who Are You gets taken out here again on the Doomfist. Hoxall.
Oh, Meteor Strike
to the flank.
Double kill coming through. Taejun and Jaehong just walking straight into that one. Do get taken out. Zumba sent into the depths. They'll be going down and RunAway yet again, holding on. About to have both of those support ultimates yet again.
Hoxall was allowed to play that risky, allowed to play that aggressive with his Doomfist because he had the escape available. He had the Meteor Strike. Who Are You did not, and so when things went sour for him, he tried to retreat, got picked, and that turned the fight. And obviously the double kill is what ended the fight, but the start there, great. Hoxall surviving, using that Meteor Strike. So great on this hero already, showing us his skills, which he did not show against Meta Athena.
Well, Hoxall yet again on screen, just going forward, finds Miro, takes him down, pulse bomb coming through, only finds Jaehong, but gets a lot of damage down onto the back of Zumba, and they will be able to pop him out and can delay that Diva as long as they want. It seems like they're not going to be too patient on that one. We'll just go ahead and take him out very swiftly, but yet again, 80% about to be attained here from the side of RunAway, but this time with more ultimates in the inventory.
Okay, Lunatic-Hai, last time they used the Doomfist and the Diva ults together, the Self-Destruct and the Doomfist Meteor Strike to actually secure the point, to cause that disarray. They will have both ults available here again. Zumba taking up to it right now, 98%. Need to get into a good approach here to make it happen. Transcendence to start.
Have that sound barrier ready to go as well if they want to chain that through. RunAway's using theirs in the meantime as Jono tries to get some smack off the maps here, but a double kill yet again coming through from a Meteor Strike, but this time it's Who Are You, gets rid of Bumper and Runner, eliminating one of those healers. So crucial pickoffs here for the side of Lunatic-Hai as they look for this flip, but it seems like they might be able to do it. Stitch, the last one there. Who Are You? Perfectly ready for it with the rocket punch, takes him out. They get the flip, and this is looking oddly similar to Shrine.
And this was so much better for Lunatic-Hai. They really only used support ultimates, which they traded with RunAway. I'm going to watch this again here. Who Are You on the point? But they only traded the support ultimates. That was perfectly done with the recall. And they didn't use self-destruct. Primal Rage is now available, so they have this extra ult lead to try to get that even 99 to 99.
Still a ways to go here, but Sakai taking the fight here one step at a time as Miro goes ahead and pops that Primal Rage.
Not the most successful one, but it was really just a zoning tool here. He can build another for sure.
Yeah, but now leaping through right as the primal range expires means he has to go ahead and kite back, has those Discord orbs in on top of himself. Self-destruct tossed out by Zumba, not going to be finding much, but Janu, he's kind of isolated all on his own. There's no way for a healer to get to him, so he'll just get taken out, as does Hoxall. Who are you, delivering the fist straight to the face? And Lunatic-Hai will go ahead, be able to maintain this hold. They have multiple DPS ultimates available now with those supports on the way yet again.
Taejun is playing mostly with his team as well, with the Tracer just kind of being supported by the D.Va, not trying to get the picks, whereas Stitch is looking for those picks, often losing his recall early, causing him to lose some of these fights because he doesn't have it available, can't be as aggressive, so it's costing them DPS. We're talking about finishing kills for Hoxall. Doesn't have that next meteor strike available. Is looking for it in 60%.
Almost getting rid of Miro's. A nice one. Hoxall very swiftly picks up the triple kill. Seismic slam into the uppercut. Eliminates 3 members. Now meteor strike getting ready to come down. Gets rid of Zumba in the baby D.Va form.
There you go.
That is going to be the flip, but is it enough time to go ahead and finish this one off? Miro has respawned. He's trying to get back, but looks like he's not going to be able to do so, and we're going to go ahead and go to round 3.
I mean, I was talking about how Stitch wasn't there sometimes to help get the finishing damage to get the kills there on the Doomfist, but I suppose sometimes you just don't need him when you can go ahead and give those insta picks there as he did. The immediate double into the triple, and then finally the 4th kill there onto Zumba. Hoxall carried that fight, and it was all won in an instant. And in Doomverse versus Doomfist, sometimes these things can happen if everyone is stacked up. If your squishies, your supports are in the front of the fight, they're vulnerable. You have to be adjusting your positioning, watching the Doomfist of Hoxall non-stop, or else this will happen to you. Now we're going to Village here to close this map out. A very close one.
I mean, it really is. I was getting concerned for RunAway there for a minute. It seemed like maybe they would suffer the same fate that we saw on
Let's watch this
We'll go
again.
ahead. Yeah. Punch straight into the slam into an uppercut. It's just so much damage. Hoxall, absolutely perfect mechanically.
The most impressive is that he kills Miro with that mid-air. Speaking of, he almost did it again.
Yeah, almost did it again, but this time he will go down as Toby goes ahead and scoops up the kill. Helps keep Miro alive and in the fight, so considerably better start for Lunatic-Hai thus far. Though as I say that, maybe I've cursed them because Miro will eventually go down. But going to be some changes. Hoxall sticking in with the Doomfist, whereas Who Are You moves over to this Pharaoh. Jaehong backing him up with the Mercy.
So difficult for the Doomfist to deal with the Pharah comp. Obviously, he doesn't really have much range. The comp of RunAway doesn't have it in general, but they're actually going to get Jaehong potentially on the ground here. That shouldn't happen.
Yeah, they go ahead, they take him out. Stitch sticking to him like glue. Dashes back, avoiding that damage from Miro's leap forward, but still RunAway suffering heavy losses. Means that Lunatic-Hai is likely going to be the ones that coming up with this first cap. See them poking in. They're going to go ahead and invest a very early Transcendence into this one, keeping the rest of them topped up as Lunatic-Hai goes ahead, answers with a sound barrier of their own, and nearly have a res available as well.
Yeah, very aggressive usage of this Transcendence with very few tools to use it for. Hoxall is going to switch over the Genji, a little bit better than Doomfist at dealing with the Pharah, but still isn't going to be the best tool necessarily.
He can at least deflect the barrage this time around, rather than just get destroyed by it. So there's a bit more tools here available for the Genji, but like you said, getting to her is going to be a bit difficult here. So still a big risk. Not trying to match her, not trying to go for something like the McCree or the Soldier, just take her out of the sky.
Yeah, we've seen very little success. Speaking of, look at this Pharah, just raining death from above here. It will be avoided and actually deflected there by Hoxall, but the res comes out. The barrage there, not getting the damage they wanted, but still getting the picks here.
It's going to be the solo res coming through from Jaehong as he gets picked off by the self-destruct from Bumper. So sloppiness overall from both of these sides here on our final map of Village. As RunAway seems like they will be able to go ahead and get this flip at about 53%. Taejun tries to delay, but Hoxall is able to go ahead and take him out.
You could almost make the argument that if he didn't use the barrage, he might have had a better chance of surviving there. But this will be the flip now. Who Are You is going to stick with the Pharah though, as RunAway has not made any moves towards hit scan to knock him out of the sky. Sure, Zenyatta can do it, Hoxall can do it on the Genji, but Who Are You definitely getting so much free damage there when they couldn't do so. And historically, this comp has not done well against Pharmacy, but RunAway seems hell-bent on using it. They got the flip, so I suppose they can hold on to it for a little bit longer.
Well, again, have to be worried about this back cap getting ready to come through here from Lee Taejun, but Stitch this entire time has actually been sticking to the enemy Tracer like glue. He's going to stay on top of him, but he has to go ahead and recall as the Dragonflight gets pulled out. Toby, first one to fall. Hoxall, that's about all he's going to get now, joins in on the point to go ahead and maintain control over this one. We're looking for a few more picks, but getting onto Who Are You, still going to be a bit of a pipe dream here for him.
Everyone from Lunatic-Hai was split up because they were trying to get the back cap, which means that's an amazing opportunity always for the Genji, the Dragon Blade. Here comes the res, solo again for Miro. Soon to have the Primal Rage. They do stack it with the Sound Barrier for that extra protection. Zuma's already been DMX'd here.
He's going to be up onto the high ground, not going to be doing a whole lot of good for the side of Lunatic-Hai, but a pick off onto Cox as the barrage comes through yet again. It's going to be nice, and Runner also falls. So no support's going to be available for the side of RunAway, but they still have control for the moment.
Toby is just so hard to kill!
It's just pinned in the corner, but finally Stitch will be able to just dash in straight underneath of his feet and take him down. But this has not been a flip for Lunatic-Hai, despite getting rid of both support members. It's still RunAway ticking upward.
They are. Lunatic-Hai just not able to get the consistent picks there with the opening fight. And who are you? Even though the Pharah is supposed to be so strong against this comp and has historically been so strong against this comp, just hasn't been able to get consistent picks. He's going to make the switch now to the Genji. So we're going to see that, basically anime battle Genji versus Genji that everyone's been hoping to see since Who Are You was announced to still be on the roster and to play for Season 4.
Going into the back line, trying to lock him down.
Toby again!
Just desperately tries to chase in. But Toby, he's so damn elusive.
He will not die!
He does not fall. The Dragon Blade gets absolutely nothing for Hawksall.
Toby
In fact,
gets
he
the
gets
kill!
taken out. Toby does finish him off as we have all-out hell breaking out on the point. They almost get the win right there to the side of RunAway, but the tag comes through from Lunatic-Hai, keeping this one in contention as they desperately try to get the retake. Stitch will go down, getting rid of one of those massive delay tools for the side of RunAway. The flip will happen. Lunatic-Hai not going down without that last second fight. It's 70% RunAway. Can they get this retake to close it out?
Such perfect coordination too. They almost lost the point despite winning the fight with the coordination they had to get those picks. Unfortunately, they did get in at the last second for RunAway. They did get the contest there, got the flip. Very much an ult advantage for RunAway right now, but Who Are You still so far away from that Dragon Blade that he's been working on for so long. Looking for the pick here on a Tracer, fails, forces the Transcendence.
Yeah, Cox gonna go ahead and pop that one now. Jaehong has one of his own to go ahead and answer. We'll just be chaining straight in behind Cox's. So RunAway is gonna be in a spot of bother. Cox gonna be the first one that goes down. Sound barrier is well invested by Lunatic-Hai. They want to go ahead and close things out right here, right now. And they yet again have gotten rid of both supports, but can they win the fight? Self-destruct zones them back. They almost get the flip, but now losing out on Hawksall means that RunAway is in such a poor position. Yanu and Stitch both going down as Cox and Runner desperately try to make it back over to the point, but it just doesn't seem likely. Will be able to dip his head in around the corner, but immediately gets taken down. And that is going to be the first map going over to Lunatic-Hai. Massive back and forth across all 3 rounds of Nepal, but they come out on top in the end.
Toby, but just uncommon to see Toby on this soldier. Will be the standard dive here from RunAway that Lunatic-Hai predicted. See if they can make it work. This is how they played the entirety of Outside of Control against Meta Athena. Just the standard 2-2-2 that they got to the finals of Season 2 with.
Here we go, Toby. See how he's going to be faring here on the soldier so far. It's just operating quite far back. Just playing this medium range here. Where he can. Stitch sneaks his way into the back line, but it's found immediately by several members. But now he's got a backing staff here to go ahead and try to help him out. But yeah, Toby is actually just going to go ahead and find that first kill. Takes him out. And Who Are You? Meanwhile, just cuts his way through both of the tanks of RunAway. That is just going to be halting their push absolutely, as Hawksall and Runner have to go ahead and be peeling back.
Very hyper-aggressive there, and Toby was ready for it. They actually dove everybody in to kill Toby, failed to do so, then got caught in that choke point. So pretty normal follow-up to what occurred there once the first pick came through. So Toby holds his own in the 1v1 there against the Stitch backline dive. Now they're going to continue to burn down this time as we see the second push come through. The Dragon Blade nearly available, but no support ultimates.
Does his way back around the corners, looking for the pick there on Ajanu. Almost takes him out with the bubble, keeps him alive, and just flicks to the side, finds Hawksall. So it's still just going to be coming up with these picks, and it seems like Lunatic-Hai will be able to maintain this hold as Who Are You goes all the way forward to the bus, getting rid of Runner, and now just trying to follow up here onto Bumper, and they can just leave him be for a while. They get the pick onto Who Are You, but even then, not going to be helping them out a whole lot here.
Stitch is doing some damage here, but is being shoved away now. Miro's on the point, looking for the contest here. Does survive with the bubble, nicely done, and a good biotic grenade.
Yeah, goes ahead, gets rid of Hawksall. They're in onto the point. They're actually getting the second tick here. Miro is leaping around, chasing forward there.
Oh, they're going to contest.
Stitch, and actually RunAway, they're just going to go ahead and take this one. 4:35, they're on the clock.
Oh, they went for the contest too. so heavily committing everything. Primal Rage, the self-destruct, not the Dragon Blade, but a lot of tools used. Just a poorly timed attempt. Stitch will get slept, but won't matter at the end of the day. This maybe matters for Jaehong's ego, I suppose, but kind of a little bit of a mistimed engagement there. Obviously, the self-destruct will help contest, but it doesn't actually stop the tick from going up.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a bit of poor communication coming through from the side of Lunatic-Hai, not acknowledging that somebody needs to be in onto the point. So Miro could have been that person with that Primal Rage the entire time. As you now see, who are you? Drawing out the Dragon Blade, cuts down Runner. The Transcendence helping to keep the rest of them alive for the moment there, but Cox will go down in the end.
Dragon Blade versus Dragon Blade, not against each other, but against the teammates. Suppose who are you wins out that battle.
Certainly does. Now self-destruct tossed up into the air, not going to be finding anything. Stitch is able to come away with a pick in onto Toby. Taejun yet again throwing out the pulse bomb. Looking for the pick, but he doesn't find anything for his trouble. But should be able to get the pop out onto Bumper. There we go. We do see that mech going down, but in the meantime, it's just been RunAway cleaning house on the members of Lunatic-Hai, keeping that payload pushing.
I feel like, though, this is a big win for Lunatic-Hai. They baited out a lot of ultimates early before we got to the major contestment point here, but they will need to make a fight happen again or it just won't simply matter. They're not even going to look for it. Okay, here comes Miro in. This time, much better time with the Primal Rage.
Yeah, doesn't have it this time, and will be able to contest it as Who Are You has actually swapped over onto the Doomfist.
This is the moment where RunAway wishes they had the ultimates they used on the Street Phase. They just don't have them.
Finds the pick there onto Hawksaw. Finds another one onto Runner. Who Are You coming up with these picks? And with the accuracy that he's showing, I don't think he's going to be having any difficulty once those PTR nerfs do come through. Because he's pretty on the money with these punches.
I suppose if you practice on the PTR, it's like practicing with extra heavy weights in a hyperbolic time chamber coming in. Maybe that's what he's been doing because his accuracy is certainly on point.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what our Mercies have been doing. You know, they've been just popping single reses.
Yeah.
So they're just getting ready for the changes. Everybody is prepped for the new patches. It's great.
Well, a lot of ultimates used in the Street Phase meant RunAway were halted hard, and they've even made switches here. Hawksaw was so close to the Dragon Blade, but didn't want to use any more time to finish it. He's actually going to switch to the Doomfist, so gonna have mirrored comps yet again here. Taejun unsuccessful looking for these back picks, but it's definitely frustrating the back line here. No one's dealt with him yet. He has the pulse.
Throws it down, finds the stick. That's going to be Hawksaw getting taken out. Luckily, Runner able to create some distance between himself and the Doomfist. It does not go down as they will actually go ahead and invest the sound barrier.
And the Transcendence stacked on top of each other. Not the best timing here.
It's really not. Now Jaehong uses Transcendence to change perfectly into the sound barrier. Lunatic-Hai seeming to have the better support ultimates, the better cleanup as Who Are You goes ahead, gets rid of both of the supports, and RunAway are just going to be halted yet again directly in front of point B, and the rollback is really starting to hurt as it gets ready to round the corner.
Look at Hawksaw's percentage as well. Nowhere close to that Meteor Strike at 33%. Both support ultimates used, stacked on top of each other. These are the tools they needed to use to continue this push to actually finish this point. And now with only 75 seconds left, very unlikely they will have those support ultimates when it matters most. So you do kind of a farming eco push. Might already be ruined here by Taejun though. In the backline has another pulse, doesn't need it.
Yeah, he is just straight in on top of Cox, gets rid of him, pulse bomb down, finds a pick onto Hawksaw with the damage and nearly pops Bumper out of the mech as well. Will finally be able to get him.
Mech too. He doesn't have it anymore.
And he's going to get taken out. The self-destruct there from Zumba goes in, pops him out, and Taejun follows up for the kill. Now looking for one in onto Runner. Has to go back with the recall, keeps himself alive. But it seems like we might just have the hold in front of point B for the side of Lunatic-Hai. No ultimates available on either side. But they've just been winning out the fights, outplaying RunAway.
Stitch on one of his backdoor missions, trying to get the picks onto the supports, fails to do so. Runner still doesn't have that sound barrier, 30 seconds to go. They needed the Diva ult, they used it to rematch, doesn't matter, the Pulse Bomb stopped him anyways. So they don't have that for contest, they don't have Primal Rage. All they're going to have is Meteor Strike if Hawksaw survives for a second.
Toby and Miro do get taken out, so it's going to be a nice one there as a Seismic Slam also gets rid of Who Are You. Jaehong's able to trade one back. They're onto Stitch, but it seems like RunAway have finally done it. They will get the completion. They buy themselves a little bit more time as Cox, yeah, he has been all over Lunatic-Hai this entire time, coming up with multiple kills with the Zenyatta. Yeah, but now, multiple ultimates here. They're going to go for this final push.
The saving grace for RunAway is even though they didn't have those tools they so sorely missed it that they so desperately needed, they were so close to getting. They won the fight without them, which, as you say, gives them nearly the big six here. And even though their time bank is very, very weak, if they use these ultimates correctly, they certainly could get that completion.
Losing out on the Cox is going to be a pretty devastating pickoff there for the side of RunAway. Need him for this big six, which they now do have available. Lunatic-Hai is going to be very closely behind them, will develop these ultimates in the oncoming fight.
I mean, we're basically looking at potentially a 12 ultimate brawl that decides whether RunAway completes this or not. They have the longer run back. Taejun looks for the D-Mech on the bumper. He's successful.
Goes ahead, pops him up. Stitch follows up, coming in from behind, gets rid of Taejun, but they need so much more than that. They effectively need to be looking for a team wipe here, the side of RunAway, to deny these ultimates to be able to come through from the side of Lunatic-Hai. Already see one invested here as Jaehong goes ahead, pops down that Transcendence. Pulse bump from Stitch is not going to be getting anything, and now Cox answers with one of his own, but who are you? Picks off Runner before he can use the sound barrier. Now Meteor Strike from Hoxall, looking for something, needs a pick, but he's not going to be getting one. Gets the punch down on the Jaehong, but they lose out onto Janu. Now it's just Bumper, the sole tank available for the side of RunAway as they try to continue this push, and he's going to get knocked out of the mech. But still, Hoxall, Cox, they are doing work. They are getting rid of these members of Lunatic-Hai, trying to keep this payload in contention.
Is it enough, though?
But that's exactly the question. We're now into overtime, and it still has a ways to go. Sound barrier gets invested as Runner rejoins the fight. Bumper makes it back into the mech. The pulse bomb comes down, but he has not been knocked out. Miro trying to knock them all away with that Primal Rage. Will lose out on it. Has to play safely because of the Discord Orb.
Who are you has
all up in their faces.
Who are you has the Meteor Strike. He can use it for the last minute contest. They do have this Transcendence now formed up. It's all they have. They're going to use it now to try to force this in. Miro gets the pick. No Meteor Strike here for Hoxall.
Oh, but Runner might just be taken out by that Meteor Strike. Almost finds it, but he actually manages to stay alive. And Who Are You has to peel back. But the payload has not been moving this entire time. Miro and Zumba have been able to sit on top of this one. And there's nothing that RunAway can do, because if they leave, that bar is just going to plummet. You can see Janu sitting on there in the bubble.
Such a great grenade.
With that Discord Orb. He gets taken out. Now Meteor Strike from Hoxall has to drop back down. Makes it just in time to keep us in contention. But with Stitch falling, that will be the hold for the side of Lunatic-Hai.
Very well played. The switch from Toby onto Ana really helped Miro do work. He got 2 Primal Rages throughout that fight because Ana was just pocketing him there. So Toby making that swap was so important. It actually won them the last fight there. As you mentioned,
in the end. So Lunatic-Hai, they want to turn that performance around. It seems very likely to be done with Who Are You in the roster, because he has been having a pretty good time with this Doomfist, which it seems like he might be running out the gate yet again.
Taejun on the Genji though, not the Tracer. We'll see if he is just trolling.
No, there's no way.
Okay, looks like he's just... But the McCree is real.
Okay, this
makes more sense.
This is more surprising, I would say, actually. I thought he was just going to go back over to the Tracer. I thought he would just kind of be relegated to playing that the entire time, but is going to be operating here on this McCree.
I think they want to try to get the picks onto Cox. They don't know if he's Soldier or not yet, but they want to get the kills regardless.
Well, there you go. All right, Janu going to go down. Gets taken out as the bubble is being thrown down onto the ground, but the damage was done. He gets taken out. Lunatic-Hai is going to be piling in onto the point. Who Are You? Finds the uppercut, seismic slam into the punch. Good night, Runner knocks him out. Jaehong also getting rid of Hoxall. Is going to be a nice little pick off there. Bumper. And, well, I don't think I need to talk about every single kill coming through. That's just going to be the cap.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty solid time bank. Was it 120 or so when RunAway got it? This is going to be the 537. Watch this insta headshots, double there with the stun there. They went to go for the top high ground invade to look for picks onto the squishies, but they actually got the tankiest member, which meant the fight was going to snowball immediately no matter what. And Taejun showing a great McCree already. Surprising pick, but if he makes it work like this, I don't think we can question him.
Playing around the corner now is RunAway. Have to approach this one very carefully because they're nowhere near Primal Range. Jenna just now hitting 50%. Who Are You? Finds the punch in on the Stitch. Knocks him into the wall, takes him out. It's just the Who Are You show over and over again here with this Doomfist.
Remember, neither of these teams played Doomfist in their previous series, and at least on Control, it looked like Hoxall had the number of Who Are You, but in this hybrid map, which has always been the strong one for Lunatic-Hai, I mean, it is a totally different story. And now RunAway struggling to group up here. They have an ult disadvantage for completion.
I mean, it's Big Six getting ready to come through here.
And Who Are You gets the backdoor pick onto Janu. He's so far away from his team, still gets the pick here. This is almost certainly just the end of this push.
Well, Deadeye will go ahead and take out Runner. Bumpers popped out of the mech. Simba finding the double kill. gets rid of Stitch, who just now swapped over onto that McCree. That is going to be the completion.
So they got
just about 6 minutes remaining on the clock, and Lunatic-Hai invest almost nothing.
And if you compare where we were at when RunAway got the finish here, they had a much worse time bank. They had a much worse ult lead. Sure, they had the ult lead, but Lunatic-Hai has a massive one, basically 4 ults ahead of them. Now they're going to try to swing around the corner, look for this completion. They can just wait and use Miro's Primal Rage to contest the point with the Transcendence. Look at this, looking for the pick onto D.Va already.
Going to be a bit of a Zenyatta standoff here, but Runner is going to be the one that gets taken out first and foremost. Now, yet again, chaining that sound barrier in from Toby. Looking quite good. Nobody is on this one. The leap in coming through from Jano gets in onto the point in time to try to keep this one in contention. Bumper just sneaking around the back of the Baby D.Va form. Will be found, however, the Deadeye not going to get the kill, but they will be able to clean it up. And just like that, Lunatic-Hai taking them bonding in a matter of minutes.
This happens very rarely on a map like this, but when you kill the tank so quickly, like, well, pretty common strategy, but very much all in. If you fail it, then it could give the edge to RunAway, where they have the shorter runbacks for respawn. Huxel on the Genji, looks like we're going to see, as standard as it gets for them, their dive, the only composition they showed against Meta Athena, the one they won this map with. See if they win it this time against Lunatic-Hai. They need a win here. And will the dive catch them?
It's going to be operating here with the Genji, as you say, but again, it's going to be going up against Jaehong with the Ana.
Don't actually get that dive with the D.Va Winston. Don't commit to it. Lunatic-Hai doesn't. They don't need to.
RunAway is just poking their head in the front door of all places. Haven't seen the wrap around through the left-hand side yet. They're trying to come up over onto the high ground instead of just been poking out here. You see the chase forward coming from Bumper, moving forward. And You will go ahead and keep himself safe as they chase in. Looking for the big in onto Janu. Almost finishes him off, but he dips in.
I think the idea here was to try to farm Dragon Blade, but he is losing out in that regard massively as RunAway is getting the much better trades. And Who Are You is about to have his first one in just a moment here.
Yeah,
they just fed ult charge.
He's ready to go, so can just go ahead and shut down because the Nano Boost drawn in. He's looking for Cox, dashes in the back, finishes on one, gets Runner, taking him out, looking for a little bit more, will be able to cut down the Winston. Stitch answers too, getting rid of the support members, but with no one else around him, there's no way for him to contest the point, and Lunatic-Hai will go ahead and hold on to that one. We'll go ahead and get a replay of this very swiftly thereafter.
Yeah, I suppose you could say the consolation prize is that they did force those two ultimates to be used with that last push, and they are going to have quite a few of their own. But I think the idea was definitely to build Huxell's Dragon Blade to poke and eco push, but definitely backfired there. They're going to use the Transcendence to try to build for that Dragon Blade. He's got it now.
Doesn't have this, but they need to get in onto the point here as they go ahead and chasing them all the way back towards point B. Jaehong and Toby have been taken out by Janu, so that's going to be a good start. And it might just be able to go ahead and translate into this point being taken. Dash through. They'll help finish off Simba, and it seems like that might just be the cap.
Yeah, with the swap of Jaehong onto the Sombra, it feels like they're definitely not going to look for a big, heavy contest here. You can see on the silhouettes behind the building that they're not even heading over here. RunAway will get the cap here on their second push. And the important thing to note is that they only use support ultimates in order to do so. Huxell holds onto the Dragon Blade. They could actually have a heroic double cap here where they grab a tick or two before EMP is available. Don't have an ult lead, but they have important ultimates. As Cox will actually make the rare switch to attack Mei. An Anubis exclusive, it feels like.
Okay, yeah, definitely an odd one, but has the isolation here. We'll get the lockdown there onto Miro. Makes it into the primal range, however, to help keep himself alive.
Baits it out with just one simple wall. That's a huge trade advantage on the side of RunAway.
Still going to be pushing through. Self-destruct thrown out there by Bumper. Not going to be finding anything. Has his ready to go, but for the moment, wants to stay in the back, tosses it up into the air, trying to zone them back. Bubble gonna block a little bit of that one, and Zuba will be taken out by Stitch with that pulse bomb. And now Who Are You drawing out the Dragon Blade, goes into the back line, finds Huxell, but needs more than that if they want to stop this push. So far, no ticks are coming through. They'll get taken down as Lunatic-Hai try to maintain control here. But they're playing a dangerous game because Cox is going to be building up towards that blizzard, but you see, he will get taken out in the end, so it seems like RunAway will be staved off without gaining anything for the moment.
There were
ultimates were invested.
So close to having that sound barrier. With the sound barrier, perhaps Huxell lives long enough to have an amazing Dragon Blade here. Stitch will make the switch actually onto, well, temporarily the Doomfist. It will go onto the Reaper after I say that. So perhaps we'll see Haksal use the Dragon Blade for one push here with the Blizzard. If it fails, he might make the switch to the Sombra, and we might see that Talon comp. Could also be the Cox, which is more likely because he's the Sombra player for the team. We'll make that switch. He's just going to be looking to build his Death Blossom here, and Haksal is going to try to get some kills. Maybe they can get a tick, but that's not the main objective here. It's just to build ult so he can swap.
Yeah, they still do have plenty of time on the clock, 4 minutes remaining, but Jaehong wrapping around. Maybe looking for that EMP to drop in. We'll go ahead and toss that one down. Makes his way back over to safety. Tries to hack in. Won't be able to find it as that Dragon Blade just get drawn out here by Haksal, but the sound barrier is there to answer from Lunatic-Hai, as they will stay safe. The pop on Zimba's mech is about all that he's going to do, but the rest of the team is just getting wiped out, and Haksal won't even be able to exit safely. Now the hack thrown down, they want to knock Bumper out of the mech, they'll be able to do so, and they can just force him to perhaps even just surrender his ultimate. Oh, actually, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird choice.
They should have just left him alive. I'm pretty sure he just got his ultimate, so if he had to swap to get back over onto the Diva, he would have lost all of it.
Yeah, he would have had to just sit there and build, very likely. It would have been really unfortunate. So Cox died before he could use Blizzard, so he was probably the player who's going to switch to Sombra with this Death Blossom attempted Talon comp here, so they're going to stick with it for at least one more push to try to make the Blizzard gain something. The only pairing ultimate with that is going to be the self-destruct. We don't know for certain if he'll be making the swap to Sombra, but it feels likely given the history of how these teams have played and the meta currently. Here he comes, tosses the Blizzard in, does not get eaten.
Yeah, throws this down, will go ahead and get the freeze immediately there on Azuma, popping him out of the mech right after he just got back in it, but now Jaehong follows up with the EMP. The RunAway goes ahead and starts cutting back off the point. As several members do die, Cox and Haksal both falling, so limited DPS available. It's just going to be stitched in on the Reaper, who is still alive for the moment. Building up for that Death Blossom, still steadily 10% away. Hero now popping. This Primal Rage has Chano just pinned into the back, but it's going to take a lot more swings than that to go ahead and finish off this Winston. He goes low, but will not get the kill for the moment. Lite chasing forward, will be able to finish it off.
Stitch. No more defense matrix available. It's already on cooldown. Can't get the heals though. The health pack is hacked.
Oh, he drops down. Yeah, finishes off the arrow, but gets taken out immediately. And Who follows up with a kill in onto Bumper. Haksal getting booped to death by Toby. And RunAway will not get anything yet again.
I can't understand the concept of RunAway's push. They're trying to use triple DPS with Mei on attack to try to get perhaps freezes to win the fight and to get those blizzards to win the fight. But when you look at what he did there, it looked like he was just going to toss in the Blizzard and switch. I mean, his toss was so haphazard. The way they executed it looks like, oh, this is definitely a switch. And then he sticks with it. So it begs the question, why did he use the Blizzard for that last push at all? There was nothing to pair with it. Now he's building up for another one. They've lost so much time for this. And another EMP is readily available. Death Blossom is going to be so easy to deal with the comp of Lunatic-Hai, barring a major control mistake.
Again, the EMP they have to be worried about. Drops it down. I believe he finds pretty much everybody there in the back room. Sound barrier will go off by Runner, however. So at least not going to be getting that shield completely denied away by the EMP. And Zuma tries to kite back, goes up, tosses the self-destruct into the air.
Great angle.
Looking for a pick, finds one onto Runner, but Haksal with the Dragon Blade gets rid of Zuma, but that's going to be about it. Follows up, gets one onto Taejin. Outside of that, will not find anything, and he's dangerously low, so he has to kite back to safety. Health pack going to be hacked out yet again, so he's not going to get it, and the rest of the team has gone down. He's picked off at the end. It's 55 seconds remaining. They still don't have a single tick.
Death Blossom totally wasted there as well. No value. Cox didn't have the Blizzard until right after the Death Blossom expired. It's not necessarily a combo that needs to be used, but it's one that's so strong, one that could almost definitely could lead to more kills, more successful Death Blossoms, but they've never used them together, and now they're already getting dove on here by Winston. Just trying to slow this push down. 30 seconds to go. Only 2 ultimates going to be available, the Primal Rage and the Blizzard. Bumper will eventually build up to that self-destruct, but Jaehong could just end it all by pressing Q.
I mean, he's going to have the EMP, and Who is about to have that Meteor Strike. EMP comes through Jaehong yet again. Trying to keep them contained, kites his way back, punch comes through, Runner's down, Stitch as well has been taken out by Miro, and this could just be the fight to set Lunatic-Hai up for a very easy attack. Haksal doing his damnedest, is able to get rid of Simba in the Baby Diva form, and now the Meteor Strike is coming through, the rest of the team dying around him. They're off the point, it's ticking down, he comes back through, they get taken out.
Nobody's
here.
That
is likely just going to be about it. Runner rejoining with the side of Stitch, but one after the other. They're just going to go down.
Sound barrier to celebrate.
Just have a party. Sound barrier there. And that's going to be it. 33% on point B is all that Lunatic-Hai needs to close out this series.
Such a puzzling strategy. It almost feels like maybe the idea is Meg slows the tanks, I bust the tanks because I'm Reaper, I build ult charge quickly, then we have several Death Blossoms to use. Instead, into being the slow build-up of the Death Blossom like we normally see on the hero. He got to use 2 of them, neither of them very impactful, neither of them paired with any other ultimates. When we saw Cox toss in that Blizzard for the first time, very haphazard. Sure, he avoided the D.Va defense matrix, but there was no coordinated follow-up. I was sure he was going to switch to the Sombra. I was sure we were going to see the Talon comp. It did not come out, and I mean, the comp is one that we've never really seen find success, and I'm pretty puzzled that RunAway was so hell-bent on making it happen.
And again, I have to go back to how questionable it is to run this roster in this matchup, because Lunatic-Hai, they need this win if they want to make it into the round of 8, and RunAway is almost handing it to them on a silver platter right now. Again, started off the series looking so strong on control, but it has been absolutely abysmal on Hybrid and now on Assault from this squad, and they haven't made any alterations. So the only thing that I could possibly think of is if they wanted to hide strategies with another roster for their game versus MVP space. But even then, it seems like such a risk to take, because Lunatic-Hai should almost certainly, given the level that they're performing at, should almost certainly have a free 3-0 or 3-1 win over Meta Athena.
Yeah, it just feels wholly unnecessary. Getting out of the group in first place as well is something that was possible for them, which would give them such a great position going into the round of 8, having that higher seed. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out. Cox will now play the Sombra on attack, looks like. Or sorry, on defense, excuse me. And the rest of the comp is otherwise going to be identical. Taejun will start off on the Widowmaker. He's very famous for streaming this one. Let's see if it works out in professional play here, as Bumper is the target.
Well, with the Discord Aura, it means they almost pop him out of the mech right off the bat. Taejun will go ahead and take control over that high ground. In the meantime, it's going to be a lot of back and forth here between the Winston players as Haksal finishes off the enemy Widowmaker, but now he's in a spot of bother, so has to cut his way back. And Janu has been taken down. It's going to be a 1-for-1 thus far. No one really coming out on top, and Lunatic-Hai not really finding themselves in onto the point quite yet.
1-for-1 is always a win for the defender here. See, Hack comes in, not going to do too much with that EMP. Although, as I say it, who are you picked?
Well, Stitch tries to toss the pulse bomb, doesn't find anything in Taejun. He picks up 2, both DPS members on the side of RunAway. Outside of Cox, take it out. Now Janu going down. He's looking for another one. Can't quite get the shot there onto Cox. Almost had it though. And now is just looking for the shot. Misses it onto Runner. Can he get the drop? Barely missing out on these ones.
Well, I mean, they control the point now. As a result, so much zoning.
Oh,
okay. There's the kill onto Cox. This might just be the capture if this continues.
Who are you? Here on the Tracer, goes ahead, gets a pop out onto Bumper. They take him down swiftly thereafter. And Taejun has to be concerned about this Genji.
The only player
in for sight.
Hold that thought. Might look for the pick here. Just being patient with this, waiting for dive, not trying to force anything. That's going to be the cap. The only player who's found massive success consistently with this pick has actually been Saya player for Meta Athena, ironically as it is on this very map specifically. Yeah. And he's done it in one situation and one situation only. It's against the dive comps with Genji. He's always been able to shut down the Genji with this Widowmaker. Genji can't stay alone. He's mobile, but he's not that fast. So really limited what Haksal could do there.
Cox is going to go ahead and throws down that EMP.
Good transcendence, though.
The transcendence is there from Jayhong, so has that cast ready to go. Pops it as Bumper gets knocked out of the mech by the pulse bomb. We'll just go ahead, get taken out, and Runner as well. Just gets finished off by Zumba Haksal with the Dragon Blade. Gets one, gets Toby, a crucial member to get rid of on the side of Lunatic-Hai, but gets taken down swiftly thereafter by Taejun, who follows up for another kill on the Janu. And that's just going to be it, the 3-0.